Here's how to score 5 points on the extended construction response portion of the 3rd through 5th grade STAAR test. Angela here from Custom Classroom, helping make test prep simple. So after reviewing the released scoring guide for constructed response for STAAR for grades 3 through 5, I decided to break down a sample student response that received a 5. So here you can see this is the response I'm going to look at, and it's not that long. So I want you to start to realize that this does not have to be a huge essay in order to receive 5 points on the extended constructed response. First, I'll break down looking at the parts of the rubric that are going to total up to the 5 points. So the first portion will get 3 points, and that's on organization and development of ideas. And then the second part, we'll look at the conventions, which is the other 2 points in the total. So this, to give a little background, this answer is based on a passage about steam and sail. It basically talks about steamboats and how they kind of were forward thinking and advancing movement along rivers in the US. But then sailboats still trumped the open seas because they were faster, and you can see there's a comparison in here. So thinking about this passage, this 5th grade constructed response question was, steamboats and clippers were popular forms of transportation in the United States in the 1800s. Explain whether you think the steamboat or the clipper ship changed life in the United States more. So first, we're going to look at the 3 points that students can earn based on organization and development ideas. So here's the response that was a 5. There were many ships, railroads, and other kinds of transportation that helped change and modernize the United States more. In that, specifically ships. Now there are many kinds of boats and ships, but I think that the clipper ship changed the United States more. 1, it helped to bring tea to countries in a much faster way. 2, ships that sail were a lot faster than ships that use steam. First of all, the clipper ship helped bring tea to countries in a much faster way. Tea was in a greater demand for an all-time high, so the clipper ship helped bring those tea in a much faster way and could handle many sails. Some ships had more than 30 sails. The first American clipper ship made the trip to London a month faster than the other ships. Lastly, ships that sailed were a lot faster than the ships that used steam. Steam ships could not keep up at all the other clipper ships. Early American clipper ships, such as the Rainbow, which was built in 1845, quickly set speed records wherever it went. Soon, these ships were racing to see who could reach to London and give the markets the tea first. In conclusion, I think that clipper ships helped change the United States more. That's because it helped to bring tea to countries in a much faster way. The ships that sailed were much faster than ships that used steam. So do your part in honoring the clipper ships and thank it for bringing all these good changes to our country. So first, we're going to look at the argument portion of the rubric. So basically, if you read the breakdown from TEA on why this passage specifically received 5 points, 1 was because there was a clear claim. They directly state that the clipper ship changed the United States more, and here are 2 reasons why. Then, moving on to organization, they included an effective introduction. So there was an introduction and a conclusion that were clearly stated, and you can even see that they are separated by paragraph. Then they use effective organizational structure because they take their ideas of why this ship impacted the United States more and grouped them into 2 paragraphs in the middle where they defend their response. They also use logical connections, which is transition words like first of all, lastly, and conclusion. And there's specific direct quoted evidence from the passage. And so here, these sentences show exactly quotes that they used from the passage to support their claim that this clipper ship had more of an impact. So for example, they list the first American clipper ship made the trip faster. Then there was the early ships when it was built. and that then it helped race these to get the T first to the market. Next, they're looking at expression of words or ideas. And here, this is like word choice. So there's using words that like were coming up in the passage, like modernize or honoring. And all of these are specifically on target for what they're trying to express their idea. And then lastly, the grader believed that the sentences were effectively crafted to convey the writer's idea. So that means when we're reading each of these sentences, they are all there for the purpose of clearly stating why this clipper ship was a better impact or had more of an impact in the United States. So because of these reasons, this student got 3 points on this upper portion of their rubric. So the other 2 points are coming from conventions. And so we're going to look at that now. So if you're looking at this student score, they said they had consistent command and they gave them 2 points. And that's because there were very few errors. There's 3 errors here shown that were capitalization errors. And then there were 3 grammatical errors where their wording was a little bit off. So as you can see, they made very few errors, which then led to the reader to be able to clearly understand their writing, and it didn't impact the message they were trying to get across. So whether you're a 3rd grader, a 4th grader, or 5th grader, your writing might be a little bit different than this example. It could be a little bit simpler, but what needs to be included in order to get a 5 is a very clear claim. That means you want to directly say exactly what your answer is to the question. You want to include an introduction and conclusion separated into paragraphs where you're explaining your answer and then you're actually wrapping it up. You need to group your ideas that are supporting this idea into a paragraph or 2 in the middle. And you want to include transition words, and you're not just flowing through the ideas, but use words to transition your sentences. You have to include quoted evidence. Quoted means you're directly taking words from the passage you read and use them to support your answer when you're writing. You need to think about your word choice, that you're using some words that are like the passage, and you want your sentences all to be included only if they are supporting your answer to the question. And then try to go back and edit so you have very few, little to none errors, because the errors, when they add up, can impact the reader's ability to understand what you are trying to say. So if you include all of these pieces, this will greatly increase your chances of scoring 5 points on your extended constructed response. If you're looking to practice a little bit more, check out some of my free resources that I have on extended constructed response. I also have more videos to learn more about the changes to the STAAR test. Good luck.